Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And Stephen Curry has debuted the Curry 4 Flowtro. So finally we see what the shoe is going to look like. So what Flowtro is basically they're retroing a shoe but using flow technology into the shoe, right? So of course we've had Protro, right? And this is the Kobe 1 Protro, and everything about the shoe is pretty much the same besides the cushion. The cushion is basically the only thing that's changed. Of course, they did core out the midsole a little bit, and I feel like if I remember correctly, they did something to the material just a tiny bit to reduce the overall weight of the shoe, right? But, you know, Protro, as you guys all know, stands for Performance Retro, and they want to upgrade the performance for modern day basketball shoes as opposed to like older basketball shoes, obviously. So of course this is the Kobe 1 Protro, and then recently we got the D-Rose 1.5 Resto mod. So the Resto mod is basically the same thing. It's a retro, but they did modify the shoe and improve the tech. So the cushion is pretty much the only thing that they updated. It is Light Strike here in the midsole as opposed to EVA, I believe it was, or Adiprene. And Light Strike is definitely better in my opinion, but everything else is pretty much the same, right? The upper and the appearance of the shoe, right? And that's what a retro is. So a company releases a specific pair of basketball shoes, let's just say the Curry 4, right? And then many years later, we're on like the Curry 9 now, right? So around 5 years later, they retro it again. And a lot of people that originally got the Curry 4 are going to be very happy. People that were fans of the Curry 4, for example, are going to have that nostalgic feeling. It's good for sales, and of course it's good for the customers, because if they like the shoe, it brings that nostalgic feeling back. You're like, oh dude, I remember back in the day we had this shoe, it was so nice, and then you get to buy it again, right? So that's kind of like what retros are. But as far as the Curry 4 Flowtro goes, I don't think people are gonna have that nostalgic feeling. Like, of course, what do you guys think, right? So first of all, it is an upgrade. The Flowtro, it is an upgrade just because flow is amazing. Okay, so first of all, the Curry 4 cushion was pretty terrible, right? You can see all the compression marks, but like, there's just a tiny bit of compression here in the heel. It has very good core feel, but then if I remember correctly, it was just a regular foam, like an EVA foam, and it's a Curry signature shoe. Like Under Armour is basically only, I wonder what they're doing with the Embiid line. They had the Embiid 1, and then it's been more than a year, and they were supposed to release the Embiid 2. We had some like leaked images of that, but I guess they're not releasing it. Maybe it's because the Embiid 1 didn't sell well, I don't know. But either way, for a signature line, their biggest signature line, they're using EVA instead of like hover or something like that, right? But anyways, yeah, so here in the Curry 4, the cushion is not very nice. And to be honest, the flow cushion isn't amazing, but it still does have a little bit more compression than the Curry 4, right? Another thing that was good about the Curry 4 is that it had great traction, a really good bite. Didn't really pick up dust all too much either. But yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be better than the flow traction, right? The flow traction is just freaking amazing. The stop is almost too hard. And for me, in my experience, I really never had any issues with dust, right? So of course, as you guys can see, Steph Curry is playing in the Curry 4 Flowtro, and it's pretty much the same exact midsole and outsole as the Curry 9 and the Curry 8. And obviously the Curry 8 and the Curry 9 have this pretty much the same exact outsole and midsole, the flow cushion, right? So that's pretty much what they did. I mean, the shape, the overall shape here in the heel is really identical. And as far as other angles, there's really no other angles. And I guess from this angle we can see, yeah, I mean the traction from like Curry doing a layup, it looks very similar. And it looks to reuse pretty much the Curry 8 outsole, as you guys can see. The Curry 9 uses kind of like this triangle pattern. So yeah, I'm guessing they just recycled the Curry 8 outsole and put it on the Curry 4 upper, right? And that's not a bad thing. I mean, the Curry 4 upper, it definitely is not my favorite. One good thing about it though is that it's super thin, right? Really thin upper. There's literally no foam. Like no foam here in the ankle area, here in the midfoot, and here in the forefoot. No foam. It doesn't feel cozy at all, but it's super minimal and also pretty damn supportive just because of this kind of like fused material here in toe box and also on the lateral side. I really like the stretchy knit material here in the ankle collar, as well as like where the tongue's supposed to be. But other than that, I mean, I did try this shoe on right now, and there still is a little bit of pinching, unfortunately, right? And the Curry 4, I remember this is the shoe that I tested, and there was a good amount of pinching here on top of my toe when I first got it. And I still have it. Maybe it's because I haven't played it in a while, and also my foot isn't used to it anymore. And also, I got a couple of dead stock pairs up there. And yeah, that was one thing that sucked about the Curry 4 upper, you know, and they're reusing the Curry 4 upper, obviously. Like, when I look at it, it doesn't really look like there are any differences. I mean, besides it being a leather material, it looks like. Leather or suede. Some people said it looks kind of like Adidas because of the stripes, and I guess I do agree with that, but I mean, in the original one, there are stripes here as well, but it does look like there is less, right? And also another difference is that if you look at the regular Curry 4, this is kind of like, I'm guessing the midfoot chain plate, right, as you guys can see here, this is probably all one piece going around here. Maybe it's not, I'm not 100% sure. But in the Curry 4 Flowtro, it's not there. It's just another like leather material there. And then as far as the toe box goes, we can see that there still is holes. And then where the tongue's supposed to be, right here in the middle of the shoe, it looks to be a stretchy knit again. And of course, we have this circle here in the ankle area. And yeah, pretty much the upper is the same, but this is a leather material, so it might be a little bit softer. But also another good thing about the Curry 4 is that it's a super lightweight shoe. Like, if I remember correctly, it's like 10 ounces. Yeah, 10.16 ounces. Extremely light. But do you guys know what I wish they would have used? Is the Curry 4 Low, guys. The Curry 4 Low upper is just so much better. It's so much softer, but yet still supportive. And it's not like this, like, it's not like super stiff. It conforms to your foot pretty well, but then I don't know what it is. It's just that pinching initially, right? But then in the low, it's just a lot softer, and it's just this like nice knit material throughout this entire upper. And I got another colorway here. I mean, I really like the Curry 4 and the Curry 4 Low. So I wish, it would be nice if they could Flowtro the Curry 4 Low, but I don't think they're gonna do that. And also, we do have another picture of a sample for the Curry 4 Flowtro. Remember, Curry wore this like last year, I believe, or 2 years ago even. And also, shout out to DG Hoops, but we do have, I mean, we've already seen this, but this is the Curry 1 Flowtro. It's just basically using the Curry 1, right, upper, and we're gonna see a flow outsole and midsole, right? But the Curry 1 actually looks a lot more similar as far as the design goes. The Curry 4, you can definitely tell, like the midsole, they didn't really try to keep it that similar as far as the design goes. They just pretty much slapped the Curry 8 midsole and put it on the Curry 4 upper, right? But one shoe that I really definitely want to see Flowtroed is the Curry 2. I mean, honestly, the Curry 2 doesn't really need to be Flowtroed, I don't think, just because the traction is so good and the cushion was pretty damn nice as well. And I just wish they would just retro it, not Flowtro, just because the Curry 2, I remember it. I remember when it came out, and it was really hard to get too. It's because Curry was doing really well that year, and everyone wanted Curry's shoes, so it was actually really hard to get if I remember correctly. And all of the shoes and colorways were being sold out. So as far as the colorways go, we've had 2 colorways that Steph Curry was wearing. So we have this like ash or coal colorway, and then next we have this like pink colorway. And yeah, and as far as the aesthetics go, I don't really think it looks as good as the regular Curry 4. And also, there's really no logos on this shoe either. You know, the Steph Curry logo obviously was on the midsole here in the Curry 4. On the Flowtro, I don't really see any type of logos. And so it's a pretty simple looking shoe. But you know, as far as the colorways go, I'm not 100% sure. There was, like, on the release calendar for Champs, it said Curry 4 Flowtro was coming out like 2 weeks ago. So I was pretty damn excited about that. I woke up early to try and get it, and it never came out. So I was pretty disappointed about that. But hopefully it does come out too. I mean, Steph Curry debuted it, so it should be coming out maybe in like a month or two, hopefully, if there are no delays, right? So what do you guys think of Under Armour doing a Flowtro? Do you guys like Flowtro? I mean, of course, the flow traction and midsole is very nice. And I feel like the cushion is also probably better than, like, you know, the Curry 7, the Curry 5, Curry 4 cushion, right? So obviously that is an upgrade, but you don't really get that nostalgic feeling. It's not the same exact shoe that we got from the past, you know, but it is improved, right? So what do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Obviously doing a full-on retro and doing a Flowtro has its pros and cons. Just tell us what you guys think down in the comment section below. And also, what do you guys want to see retroed and what do you guys want to see Flowtroed in Curry's line? Like I said, I want to see the Curry 2 retroed. And as far as Flowtroed, I feel like the Curry 1 Flowtro is a pretty good option, you know. This was a nice upper, and it seems to me like they got the overall design, like the shape of the midsole and stuff like that, pretty similar to the regular Curry 1, which I'm not too mad at, as opposed to the Curry 4, which looks like a totally different shoe. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the Curry 4 Flowtro. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.